Welcome to Mansa Makes Sense. This is episode 4. I am Mansa Baku, and today I ask that you bear with me as I improvise around a few thoughts that I hold regarding the unwarranted loss of life, the tragic and untimely death of Takeoff. It is a weary condition that we are in as a people, as a culture on the American stage of human activity. It is not my intention to preach to the choir, okay? But I do want to state the obvious, which is that most rappers seem to, after it's too late, find themselves trapped in homogenized lineaments. By the time it's too late, they realize that they were used only as pawns in a game that's not run by them. Rappers, it does seem, are no longer preoccupied with painting pictures of the culture's experience as a people. They're no longer concerned with reflecting the current state of affairs with their people, thereby making it easier to bear for us. Nearly every effort in rap is more or less committed to self destruction by obsessing over fantasies and fears, consequently trapping rappers within them. The entire rapper's persona is meretricious. It looks good, but it has no real value. The value once came from being a voice for the voiceless. Personally and artistically, it seems like the problem of murdered rappers presents itself in ways that confuse, that sadden, and which make the use of the word hip hop artist quite questionable, if not quite frightening. I don't need to tell you all the countless rappers dead since January 1st, 2022. One could assign blame to the parents of this new generation of murderers, for if all virtues and good manners begin at home, then so do all vices and bad habits. But the truth is that it remains, perhaps now more than in recent memory, a dangerous occupation to be black in this society. The record labels act in accordance with the American society at large in that the black man and woman are not encouraged nor allowed to grow up, to mature, to evolve into adult human beings. Black folks, but rappers in this case, are reduced to being mascots, playthings, symbols of this or that, or as an expendable toy that comes from the music industry's warehouse that manufactures stock rappers at will. It seems to me that rappers know the poison that comes with the territory of being a public figure whose persona is that of a killer. I'm a shooter. I got money. And they somehow still fall victim to the poison. So then the question becomes, why don't rappers change the life and death condition of being a hip hop artist by changing the message in the rap music? If you're the movers and shakers of the culture, if you're the tastemakers, why not create life-giving music for the culture instead of music that requires you to pull a make pretend trigger on your make pretend gun in all your music videos? Country artists aren't being gunned down while at lunch, while at the bowling alley. Opera singers aren't being blown away in front of their businesses or while buying gifts for loved ones. So why do hip hop artists suffer such fates? Is it the message in the music? Well, that's the question before us now, isn't it? This culture of ours has not understood well the law of attraction. It seems like rappers used to make every effort to get out of the trap of violence and gunplay and drugs and all the things that could bring about one's demise. Now, it seems to me that rappers are running headfirst into the trap and doing so willingly. It is time to face the fact that the music should change its course from a death and drug user soundtrack to something we, but especially the children, can use and get further in life. Because after all, time ain't forever. We actually don't know if we will wake up tomorrow. Moreover, we don't know if we will make it to tomorrow night. But how did our culture end up in the desperate, empty, and murderous state that it's in? And since we know it is in fact a condition which lacks a love ethic, since we are out here acting like we have no home training, what are we to do about it? How shall we untangle the trap of rap music fantasies and put the culture, ourselves, face to face with reality? I come from the 90s when I heard the older youth have to defend rap music, that it was just an art form, that it wasn't all bad. And we saw Public Enemy. We saw De La Soul, Poor Righteous Teachers. We saw the early Tupac. We saw Tribe Called Quest. We saw Queen Latifah. We have no one out here asking who you calling a bitch because you're all calling each other bitches. It seems to me that when the message in the music changes, the social climate will too. Now, let's be brutally honest. We know it's time to transform rap music from what it is now, something that no one is proud of at all, to something that is a treasure. Takeoff was my favorite out of all three Migos. My condolences are sent from my mind to the minds of those in his family. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. Peace.